Classic round 1 match. This is pre-tournament, so it's casuals, I suppose. That hit a shoot down backbreaker. What a cruel life that Hugo lives. This doesn't seem like super familiar footage. Has it really been 13 days since I streamed? Oh, he had a EX Lariat there, I guess. Maybe a regular Lariat even. But definitely an EX Lariat. You get an ATR clap EX Lariat combos. But a lot of SA1 Hugos do not touch EX Lariat. Jump strong whiffed. That was pretty scary to not anti-air at the Hugo who jumped over, because that could have been a 720. Still anyone's game, I think. Chip Super is pretty scary. Yeah, that was a punish. Fade away low is an anti-air. Classic. High skill play. Oh, that was it. Raw Super was probably the safest. Oh, that's good. Dash in Super, huh? He might get that back. Yup, I might finally actually finish it. I'm only 2 chapters from beating the game. But then again, the game is only 6 chapters long. Or 7? You're not even first and you put first. Nice. Jinrai's here. What's he doing here? I've been having trouble streaming at the times I'd like to be streaming because my mom sleeps next door to me now. And I can't comfortably make any noise past midnight. So I've gone quite a lot of time without streaming in the last month. It's actually been super annoying that it's lasted this long. We've had renovations going for like a month and a half now, with only a break for my mom to go to Europe. I wouldn't have anticipated how much this would disrupt my life. Well, it was especially bad right at the beginning because the only bathroom in the house that was functional was the one in my mom's bedroom. So I was trying to plan around either not using the bathroom after midnight or like driving to like convenience stores to use their bathrooms, which is a giant pain in the ass. Hi Glar. I was thinking about some PSO. Doesn't that sound fun? I wonder what Candle is. I didn't level the character since last time. I hope no one else did. Look at that little crouch jab. Must be nice having a 2-frame normal. Psych, I have one too. And I never touch it. Having a 2-frame normal ain't all it's cracked up to be. Ooh, easy reads. How would you not spend EX there? Fucking one of the great mysteries of the universe is not spending that bar. Oh, failed confirm. No! Yep, I've seen that happen before. Never with Makoto. I've seen it happen with other characters. The hitbox on that last kick is super wide, and it will hit behind her. Rufus has that in Street Fighter 4. I never punished that the way he did. I've had that happen to me once, and I've been wise about it ever since. It's an easy super to punish. That's the only thing you have to be concerned with. I had lined myself up for a jump in. Yeah, Rufus does visually kick behind him. My favorite thing is if that behind kick hits, I think it... No, I don't think it juggles into the last hit. But it's a hard knockdown. So he's safe once that behind kick hits. They knew what they were doing, Capcom. That's not an accident. It probably was an accident in this game. With Chun-Li, SA2. It's very much a oops, we forgot to make it fair. Yeah, he got the cool... Oh, was that wise? Yeah, he didn't have the second bar. . Okay, grabbed a lightning legs. It launches, but I don't think it. I don't think the last hit connects properly. I think you just get hit by the one kick and that's it. Maybe. I'm gonna need to lab it now. Ooh, nice to confirm. The forward Kara is really common against Chun-Li. I think it's easier than the other Kara. It's not a one-frame Kara, it's like a delayed Kara. Makoto has cancel window for like a lot of her stand short. They lowered the game volume in the video and now I can barely hear it, which means it's probably fucking inaudible for you guys. I've never really played a Makoto until Kara Fail, who did the instant air EX X kick stuff. Couldn't tell you who this Chun-Li is. It's kind of scary. I never thought it was that scary. There's a million other scarier things Makoto can do. Now I've got no audio at all. Who needs audio? They're still setting up stuff in the video, I suppose. See that early jump fierce to hit on the front? I think it would have hit on the front no matter what. Oh, there it is. That was a super slow way to get in. Chun-Li probably could have shaken out of that. Whoa. I didn't watch the trailer, which is, to the best of my knowledge, it's just a trailer, right? Is it the Rising Thunder dev team or whatever? I didn't care about Rising Thunder at all, and then one of my uploaders, I think it was like Danny J, one of the people I'm subbed to on YouTube, uploaded like some footage of him playing the little Russian robot guy. I call them little, but none of them are little. The one who shoots missiles out of his arm, his elbow. And the game honestly looked super fun watching him play. I think a lot of people were got a little bit griefed by Shell or whatever, the one that threw shurikens really fast. Or like she had like the sonic boom of the game, where it like had zero recovery. So you could just spam it forever. Ooh, nice punish. Or is it? He missed the punish window. That's not a super hard normal to punish either, and that's a really good punishing option. I see Tommy miss that all the time. He's not very good at that one. Yes, that game had cooldown on specials, but it was non-universal. Some attacks would have longer cooldowns than others. The juggle system, the way the juggle system worked was actually very cute. It was pretty much like this game, except it showed you the number right on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then once you get past 5, it won't let you juggle anymore. This game has a lot more nuance to it than that, but on the base level it was quite similar. This game has like a combination of that and the KOF system, which is depending on the attack that juggled you is the number of frames you have to combo out of it. So something like Clark charge back forward D gives you a lot of frames, but Clark charge back forward B gives you very few frames. See the late super jump there. Let's get Rion to teach us all Melty Blood. Then we'll all be Melty Blood players. I think back fist is only 6. It's not 14. Ryu's hard DP is 15. I'll tell you that one. That one I know for sure. Which means there's only one frame to juggle out of it. Which is actually very important because his super 1 misses by 1 frame, but his super 2 hits. If it's double digits, those stones need to hit real fucking quick for the SA3 juggles. I'm about 80% sure it's 6. Far stand strong is 6 as well. Needlessly punishing. There's no reason for that one to be that high. And then roundhouse is 1. Low strong is 1, I think. Far forward is 1. Cool. Yeah, me too. Oh my god. But I think that's just because it's 6. Now it's too loud. I could test this super easily by opening up the training mode app. Training mode, Crystal Cubes thing. Training mode hack. Training mode Lua. There we go. Since now you can actually just look in the game's code, thanks to that. Makoto's struggle potential is hard to wrap my head around. I can't tell what the hell's going on there. I don't know how many an axe kick adds. Or an up punch. Nice. Super good punish. This can stun, I think? I think that would have stunned. He had a very irregular start, but I think it still stuns Chun-Li. Yeah, far forward is still 1. I know, because you can do 6 far forwards on some characters. And in fact, that's optimal on a bunch of them. Well, that's never technically optimal, but like, that's the easiest way to get a lot of juggles. Chun-Li, I usually do 2 roundhouses and then 3 forwards and a towards strong. Although it's technically possible to do 3 roundhouses and 2 forwards and a towards strong. Makoto, I usually just do, I think also 2 roundhouses, a bunch of forwards, and then a towards strong. I think Necro you can get 3 or 4 roundhouses. Shotos I struggle to get repeated forwards at all. They fall really quick. Or I don't know. They're narrow. I have to do a lot of forward walking. So whenever I get a dizzy corner combo against them, it's usually just like roundhouse, roundhouse, far forward towards strong. Or maybe 2 roundhouses, 2 forwards, and a towards strong. If I'm lucky, if I'm good. It's lying. Shoryuken's full of bullshit. I can juggle far forward repeatedly, and I do it all the time. I mean, a lot of attacks in this game don't cancel on reaction. Depends on who you're playing. The cancel windows are non-universal in this game. Some attacks have super long cancel windows, and some have really short ones. I've been playing Elena recently, and her low strong has quite a long cancel window. The taunt. Bullied right back. Elena's Stand Strong has 1 nanosecond of cancel window. It only cancels on the first hit, and the 2 hits are super duper close together. So if you want to cancel Elena's first hit of her Stand Strong, it's fucking tiny. Ooh. Tominaga's a wild man because he does bullshit like that. Wow! What's Chun-Li's punish there, even? Backstretch. Doesn't do anything post KO. He got the Tominaga to burn 2 meters. I think that was pretty successful. See that jump early stomp? That was to try and catch him air to air. Jump early stomp combos to jump roundhouse, and it does pretty good damage. Ooh. Cool close roundhouse into jump away. The step kick. That almost actually seen more in this game than it is in SF4. Cool. That looked like a close roundhouse Chun-Li got hit out of. Chun-Li players use close roundhouse the way I use close strong. Nice. Parry into jab. These parries. It's aggressive. Jesus Christ. I'd be scared to hit anything. Oh, very good. Double jump low forward or whatever. The double stomp leaves the opponent knocked over. Usually Chun-Li's go for the reset these days, so I haven't actually seen the leaving knocked over combo in ages. Wait, me? I taught you, Alex? I think you taught yourself, Alex. And I maybe helped just a little bit. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Look at that. The jump stomp. It's actually really cool that Chun-Li has that. Her jump stomp combos are really neat in this game compared to SF4 and SF5, where they're still kind of cool but not as cool. They're more like railroaded in SF4 and SF5. There's like intended paths. Ooh, very nice. I bet that was cancelled to legs, that low forward. This is a good Chun-Li, he buffered it there. All you have to do is just a bunch of kicks while you're falling down from your air fierce. And it stores it for quite a while, so you can do dash into low forward legs. Super obnoxious neutral jumping right next to you in the corner. Oh, back fierce is the god normal. Oh, he's dead. The taunt hit? Yum. Bully mode. All 3 of the animations of that taunt have a hitbox, I think, although the 3rd one is behind her, so it'll probably never ever hit. And also it's got like, you know, a very, very, very long startup. Omega Hugo is better than Omega Geef, I feel, just purely because he's not actually helpless in neutral. You don't need the Oki to like make Hugo work. I observed in the comments, I observed while making the video, but I don't think I said anywhere in the video, but generally speaking, Omega Hugo does more damage with a throw than he does with hits. Like, hard claps don't come free, and you already get from a ultra throw, you get more damage, or like you get as much damage from an ultra throw as a hard clap. So that's super interesting that you have a character who in regular punishes gets like 260, but then if he gets a throw, he gets 400. It's like uh, the inverted from regular command grab characters. Whoa, backdash. He shook out. Most grapplers will get like 400 from a confirm and then 250 from a command grab. Not usually. Ooh. Oh, the chat's cut off. This happens every now and then if I reload it. I think that's probably adequate. When you first open pop-out chat versus when you reload it, It's a different size. Oh, he got hit out of an SA2. You see that? How he was like zipping away to the corner. SA2 is not invincible, but it might have some. It's not frame 1 airborne, but it might be unthrowable. The fucking towards roundhouse. And then he was trying to get parried there. You see that? EX chop into SA2. That's like trying to. It's preying on someone parrying you. Ooh, that would have probably done pretty nicely against a jumping mech. Oh no! He had to pick his fucking upper. Tommy. Tommy's actually winning, I think. He's got more HP. They're both playing on it. I think Tommy's winning. Oh, it's a literal tie. Tommy's super good here because he's got more points. Nope, Chun-Li got it. It's random too. It's not the points per se, but it's the little rank that shows up after the game, where it's like A or B or S or whatever. But it's still randomized. It just gives preference to the guy who's getting the better score. Judgments are not common in this game. I've had probably like 10 judgments since I started playing this game. And I think I've won like all but 2 of them, or all but 1. Oro gets a high score really easily, and a good rating really easily. Especially Tengu Oro, which is the one I've classically played. Judgments are cool. You don't see those almost ever. You also don't see time overs almost ever. Judgment is double KO on the 3rd round or time over with the exact same HP value. And it just picks the guy with the higher score with some randomness and gives them the win. Cool matchup here. Best chance of time over is probably 12. Chun-Li is also a strong candidate. Remy. Those 3. Those are the 3 characters who do the most time stalling. It's definitely possible to have an air quotes rushdown character time stall. For example, a very lame Yun, whiffing low strongs and only approaching Ingene. If he doesn't get any of his mix-ups going, he can definitely run the clock. Good old little jab there. You can see just how little recovery the claps have when they're parried. When you have a special move parried, you only have 2 extra frames of recovery. So it's like normally when you have like a move parried, you have the natural recovery of the move plus like extra frames depending on what was parried. So this is the natural recovery of clap, which is almost instant, plus 2 frames. So an instant toward short from Makoto isn't fast enough. This is why, even though claps are fairly easy to parry, that's why people don't often parry them. One, FE doesn't always show up during Necro's judgments, and 2, even if FE shows up and votes for Necro, the other 2 judges can vote against him. So I think Necro actually has a normal judgment win rate, despite his unique judgment animation. Surprised that low short didn't kill. Cool. Good EX Fuki. He's gonna do a ton of damage. I think he's dead. Wow, he actually went for the double Fuki when any combo was gonna kill. The first Fukiye is free if you don't do the Kara. If you do the Kara, it's still pretty free, but like if you miss the Kara, you won't notice until the second one. Um, and then once you get the Kara, like once you get the first Fuki, you can just do an air combo if you want. They doubtlessly anticipated that the player would do axe kick into like dash punch or double dash punch with that super, but rarely do people actually do that. Whoa, a little too far. Yeah, Fukiage is very shit in this game. It's very hard to land. You try and use it like the way you would use it in SF4, you'll get creamed. What do you mean I ever played Cruz? How you asking that? How do you not know? Cruz was like my primary training partner forever. I've played probably like thousands of games against Cruz. Was that a wake up super? I think it was. I didn't know that Effie was created by the Illuminati. Necro was the prototype for like 12 and stuff, I guess. There's lots of videos on my YouTube of me playing against Cruz, and I've been playing against him since before I used to record it. I don't know if there's lots, but there's some. I saw Cruz on Fightcade recently. I haven't talked to him in forever. I had him on AIM, but ever since AIM went down, I've like never had him on anything. He was like the only person I talked to on AIM for like ever. Jump strong. That's a remarkably good normal for Hugo. Nothing about Jump Strong is that good. The damage is nice, the speed is pretty good, and the hitbox is a lot better than it looks. But especially about Jump Strong, it has a very big niche covering stuff that Hugo normally sucks against. Oh, that's not the right punish. Yeah, I think he had a kid right at the end of when I used to talk to him. Or like he just had one. That was over 5 years ago now. You guys want to know what his aim was? He had two. He had one that was just I Cruise I or something like that. And the other one, which was his mobile one, he had a separate aim just for mobile. And it was Cruisin' and Boozin'. Can't, can't believe that actually grabbed. You mean OE? I haven't been on Online Edition in forever. Fightcade seems to be the place that you would go, I would think, just for the convenience. But some people are diehard and don't like they don't know how to set shit up, or maybe they don't have access to their router, so they can't fucking forward ports or whatever. 30th. I guess that is an anniversary edition, isn't it? That is an AE. I've never heard anyone call it AE. Yeah, people play a anniversary edition. It took off. It took off enough. I couldn't tell you if people play like Alpha 3 on it, but people definitely play Street Fighter 3 on it. About once a week I get invited by Everdred. I'll be waiting patiently for the 35th anniversary game. In all the time I played Cruz, I think I only had 2 sets against him where I won the majority of games. They were both near the end. He's super duper good. Bullying the poor little Dudley Calm. He's doing his best. Cool. Against his Urian. What else does he play? Ken. I remember his Ken being kind of shitty. Well, it wasn't shitty. It was like a good Ken, but I would win. I would win most games against his Ken. And every single time I was like, "What the fuck is this? Give me the Urian." I don't think I've ever seen him play anything except those 2 characters. It's funny whenever someone's like a character specialist, whenever they play like another character, it's funny who the other character is. You know what I mean? I guess that's true for me as well, isn't it? With Oro and Elena. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a god tier necro player and I play a little Yun on the side. Whenever you see someone sub, I think there's something funny about it. Like if you look, there was a tournament I remember watching where it was everyone got to choose 2 characters, and like some people would have like a pocket top tier. It would be like, oh yeah, I play necro, but I play Yun on the side. But then sometimes it would be like YSB's was Hugo and then Q, for example. So it's like, yeah, I know what you're here for. You're here to play a big, slow, dumb motherfucker and get big old damage from parries. I don't know how you could play Necro and Yun and still feel that Yun was like the cooler character. Don't get me wrong, I think Necro is super fun. But I thought, it's weird to think that Necro players could get a taste of Yun and still not still want to play Necro. You'd think if someone was playing Necro in this game that they just couldn't even tolerate playing any other character. It's funny to ask low tier players who like the bad characters are too. My character gets fucked by Chun-Li, so when I say I hate Chun-Li, people don't bat an eye because they hate Chun-Li too. But like hearing someone say, "Oh man, the most stupid broken character in this game is Akuma." "Oh man, the most stupid broken character in this game is Makoto." Q's normals are dumpster fire. Q's special moves are pretty decent. His supers are not bad. His taunt is extremely good. His hitbox is absolutely horrible. Hurtbox. Um, but his normals are nigh unusable. And normals are a really big part of how you fucking succeed. Cool. Optimal. And Q probably has the worst selection of normals in the whole game. Yeah, he's got a lot of cool looking normals. They're both cool looking. Q would die for G's medium buttons. Q's only remotely good normals are close forward and actually that might be all. That might be the only remotely good normal anywhere. You can attack him in such a way that he can't get a good parry at all, is the thing. It's like, yeah, he can fuck you up if he gets a good parry, but if you attack in certain ways, there are ways to play Third Strike that even if you get parried, you don't get punished, or at least you don't get punished hard. And because Q's movement is so bad, you can always attack him in those ways pretty reliably as most characters. This can't kill. She can't dizzy Dudley straight away anyway. Oh, very nice. His air normals are just fine. Jump strong is not anything to write home about. Jump roundhouse is frustratingly slow. Jump fierce is fine. Jump jab is quite good. I mean, even if you like don't get mix-ups on parry, if you just have like a long range, like low forward parried by Q, he can SA1 if he has SA1, but if he doesn't, then he gets like far forward or low forward as his punish. So it's just like, okay. Cool, we got it. Max meter build. Stand strong dash punch. Low strong dash punch. Honestly, I usually underrate Q, but it's because my character fucks him up really bad. So against me, he feels very shitty. He's functional. You can win with him. There it is. Taunt super will kill. I like most of the top tiers in this game. I like every character in this game. Even Chun-Li, who I hate, I like. Is this Mr. Fujiwara? I have no opinion about Sean. He might as well not exist. I play a Sean like once every never. So I was playing, you guys know Bungus, the guy who's running the, among the people running the Third Strike tournaments at Wednesday Night Fights, right? Me and Bungus, I snuck in on him playing Fightcade, and I watched some of him playing, and he was fighting the most gimmicky Sean I've ever seen in my entire life. But he was like just learning the stick. It was like his day one of playing the stick, and he wasn't playing super duper well. And he was getting like gimmicked out by Sean gimmicks. I was trying to give him advice while I was playing, or while he was playing, and then I took a chance at the oh, that can stun. He went for a really cool dizzy juggle. I haven't seen that reset in forever. So if you get the opponent to bounce super high off of Dudley's SA1, you can still juggle them. And this is one such setup to get them bounce super high. And then the juggle is that EX uppercut into towards forward into a regular uppercut. The regular uppercut whiffed because of the angle. He didn't walk forward enough, maybe. But that does a butt ton of dizzy. The SA1 resets the juggle potential for Dudley. So after Makoto bounced off it, Makoto was at 0 again. Anyway, this Sean was doing like every trick in the book. And it was funny to me because I've been lit up by those kinds of Sean gimmicks before, long ago in the past. Now I'm pretty immune to getting gimmicked by Sean. But watching Bungus have to deal with this stuff. Bungus is like quite a good player now. He's getting better and better. But he'd never been exposed to a lot of the Sean stuff, I guess. Plus he was playing on the stick, so his execution was taking a hit. That was EX's the play there, wasn't it? He didn't spend it. Can you get a regular double uppercut? I didn't think that worked. Maybe Makoto. He plays on hitbox. I don't even know why he bothered to get a stick when a hitbox is, in my opinion, a superior choice in general. This is 10-10. Ooh. That was probably not parryable. This is super recent. This happened on the 10th. This happened less than a week ago. Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, I knew the reason. I didn't say it. But yeah, he wants to play on cabinet. He wants to be able to go to, like, arcades and play. I bounced off the wrong way. Cool. Crouching opponent combo. It's funny because he seems to mostly be playing okay on stick, but he's dropping a lot of air supers, which is unfortunate because you know Ibuki's got quite a good air super. Nice. I think Alex Makoto is mostly just using your normals to prevent the movement from Makoto, which is difficult. Towards strong is really good in that matchup. Towards strong is normally a normal you don't care that much about as Alex, but it can halt the dash-ins and also the air approaches to some degree if you're using it smart. Low short and low forward as well. The Shawn he was fighting was doing stuff like dash back into wheel kick and just like landing on him with the wheel kicks and then either throw or uppercut, or like the spinning kick, the tornado kick into either throw or uppercut, or like chuck the ball into the tackle, stuff like that. And it was funny watching all these things, trying to dispense advice to him. I'm like, yeah, just ignore the basketball if he ever throws it. Like literally ignore it. You can pretend it doesn't exist. Blocking it's not too bad. Parrying it is arguably worse than blocking it, because he has a better mix-up on you if you parry it. But you can just go from parrying to blocking. That's the trick. Shawn will try and make you think that you can't start blocking because you just parried the basketball. He puts you mentally in parry mode. So he does like, you know, he does something that's hard for you to... Like the one I see a lot, where the Shawn players do this, is they'll throw the basketball and then they'll just do a raw super one. And it's like, you can just parry the basket. Even if you just parry the basketball, you can just block the super. There's nothing preventing you from blocking the super. But a lot of people will try and parry the fireball for whatever reason, and they'll miss it, and they'll take a bunch of damage. Certain characters have to parry it to get a reliable punish. Elena. I played this matchup just recently. So, this is something that happened to me just recently, and it like hurt me, to be honest. Apparently, Bungus was at Wednesday Night Fights, and he was talking to Alex Valle about how it was kind of cool that I was coming down, which was, you know, thanks Bungus. And Alex Valle said some, I don't know if I'd call them unkind. He said some less than flattering things about me. And I was just like, what the hell? I made it sound all bad right there. He said that I was like good, but like once he figured me out, it wasn't so bad or something like that. But I heard that and I was like, what the fuck? Figured me out? Alex Valle, what? When did I get figured out? We've only played a few Third Strike matches ever. And I counted the sets. Of the 5 tournament sets we've had together, I won 3-0 once, he won 3-0 once. I won 3-1 once, I won 3-2 once, and he won 3-2 once. So I'm 3-2 tournament sets against him. And the most recent one, technically he won, but it's a big technically. I came in from losers, and I won 3-1 for the bracket reset, and then he won 3-2 post reset. So technically speaking, I won 5 and he won 4, but he won because he was in winners. But that was the most recent time we played, and every other time I played against him, I've like come out ahead. I know, that's what I'm thinking. The most recent time we played was super close, and I technically got more wins than losses, and he's still saying he figured me out. I was mad hearing that. I was like, what the fuck? Disrespected. What have I ever done to you, Vi? He's quite good. I'm not bad-mouthing his skill. I feel like Vi's been rude to me at every turn, to be honest. Ooh, interesting punish. I only do that move on accident. I bet that was on accident, too. And the times I was playing him, I was using the controller I'm not very good with, too. I've never played him on my regular controller. So that doesn't help. Anyway, I think I'm going to try and challenge him to a money match. I think that's the way to go. But he's, like, actually good, so, like, I don't want to put too much money down. I probably want to put down, like, 5 or 10. It'd be friendly. Like, if he said it to my face, I wouldn't even care, but he was saying it to other people, and I wasn't there, you know? If Alex Valle, like, fucking stopped me on the street and he was like, I figured you out, you're trash, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But that's not what happened. He said it to Bungus. And I was not even in the same fucking room. Thanks, Valle. That combo's so cool. Did you know that combo does more damage than her SA1 combos while also costing less meter? Oh. Raw EX Rhinohorn is less shitty than it looks, but it's not good. It's unsafe on block. I almost never go to locals. I mostly just go to locals if there's third strike. And generally I only enter in third strike. I play other fighting games naturally, but, you know, in tournaments, not really. It probably seems minor to you guys, but hearing Vi talk to me, like, I've never had Vi talk about me in, like, pretty much any way. So hearing that, you know, I was like, oh, what did I do to deserve this? Now, it's not like a mistake I made or anything. It's not like me being a bad person. It's him bad-mouthing my ability to play the game. It hurt my pride, though. Oh, it came out the wrong way. Um, I would say 5K is my favorite way to play third strike, but just because of convenience. All the ports are fine for this game, except the Dreamcast port. If you want to play Anniversary Edition, if you want to play 30th Anniversary, if you want to play Online Edition, if you want to play Fightcade, it doesn't matter. All the ports are arcade honest, except the one that removed unblockables, and that one's arcade honest except for the fact that it removed unblockables. So if you don't play one of the 4 characters in this game who can get unblockables, then you'll be alright. He might hate Oro. He might have a low respect for Oro. A lot of people, I can see how someone would think Oro is just like a gimmick character. Like, oh, like you can not be good, but you can still win with Oro as long as you just do these things, which is to some degree true, and also to some degree true for me specifically. Because I definitely do the scummy stuff, which enables me to get easier wins. Optimal. This is Dizzy if he gets it, and then he gets the Dizzy, he wins. Oh, fucking Tominaga sucks. He's dropping that combo more than he gets it. No, I can't do any of. Actually, I've done that combo before. I can't. I've done the double Fukiage like once or twice, ever. The double Fukiage on like most characters. The roundhouse Kara into heavy Fukiage into strong Fukiage or whatever it is. The one on Chun-Li I can do not often, but like 30% of the time. It's definitely easier than the regular one, which is why it's just kind of funny that Tominaga's dropping it. It's like he's got the ultra hard combo down pat. That was a big ass car throw. I never do that. He did a stand strong cancel into the light Link's tail. Oh, that hurts. A lot of playing this matchup while as Elena, for me, seems to be interesting. Cool little reset. A lot of playing this matchup well seems to be using close roundhouse and back roundhouse effectively. Or I guess just, you know, regular roundhouse. Background house is like hard for Makoto to preempt, and also it's immune from throws, and also it's annoying to parry. Oh, he went for double parry. That sucks, because like he still got the punish, I think. Sucks for Elena. I'm about 80% sure that Alex Valle has no idea who I am. And that's okay. I'm not like some famous person. But like, I don't even know if he knows anything about, you know. It's not like I need him to know. But I'm just a face in the crowd to him. I'm just the guy who shows up when third strike is being played, and that's it. Which is a fairly accurate description in all honesty. Oh, the parry, first hit parry. Parry into block, he was trying to bait the DP, I suppose. Sejam knows, I greeted him at the last Wednesday Night Fights. I went and said hi. I was like, thanks for the shout out, and he was like, oh, hello. And then I specified that I was Beth, because I don't know if he knows my face, since it's not super well known. This will kill. Fairly easily. He shouldn't do the double Fukiage, but he probably will. Yep. I said he shouldn't do it because it's easy to drop, but, you know, if you get it, then it was the right play. I figured it out. It's the highness of the mic. This mic is below my mouth, and the mics elsewhere are sometimes above and sometimes below my mouth. And ever since I started lowering the mics when I get on, you know, other venues, it sounds more like me. It's the angle my fucking air is coming out. I don't know. I feel pretty good about the way the last Wednesday Night Fights went. It was pretty intense. But I did it. I was very proud of myself. For those who didn't watch it, I won against Carfail with Elena in Grand Finals. Carfail's quite a good player. He's beaten my Oro. But this time I got the jump on him with Elena. And I did it with some pretty hardcore player reads, which was cool. I got to flex my player matchup knowledge. Cool. That's better with SA1 than SA3, I think. I asked Carfail how long he's been playing, and his answer surprised me. He was like, oh yeah, since 2009, but I haven't played continuously since then. And I was like, oh shit. That's quite a while. I started in 2006. It's no wonder he's quite good. I think a Chun-Li earlier beat Tomi. But yeah, he's like, you know, super good. But then again, Fujiwara is super good, so there you go. I don't fucking know if it derailed to colon cancer. I was playing. Cool. You see that? And he was still safe. That was beautiful. It's not like Dudley has a cross-up or anything. Stand short anti-air. OS parry, stand short Fukiage. Different characters do different things after an air parry. So like that Fukiage might not hit everyone. Some characters kind of fall and some characters kind of like... the speed at which you start falling after an air parry is non-universal. So like some characters will like move continuously forward and some will kind of drop. Nice. 15 frame overhead. Usually it's air strong there from Dudley, and then the Dudley usually does like a... Oh, there's the air strong. And then the Dudley does like a ducking super or something annoying. Oh, one hit only and it worked. Wow. I imagine he wanted two low shorts, but who can say? Oh, that was cool. Smart. Low parry into jump. That was to preempt the cancel to regular EX chop, which is exactly what Makoto did, but his punish was wrong. Should have been low parry into jump, and then if you saw the chop, like come down with jump roundhouse into stand roundhouse. But he didn't have the right punish. He did like empty jump into land throw that wasn't even a punish. That was like a super big brain play, but he didn't big brain enough. Early jump fierce into a land light normal. Cool. Whiff punish the lightning legs. It's not easy. And that's not even a common place for Chun-Li to do lightning legs, although I wouldn't call it rare. Nice. I think that was a punish. Anti-air parry into roundhouse is very common for Chun-Li because both far and close roundhouse are fairly good anti-air normals once you do a parry. Close roundhouse won't beat air normals usually, but with a parry OS you don't have to worry about that. Favorite fighting game soundtrack ever? You know CVS2 has a real strong one. What's my all-time favorite? Most Tekken songs are pretty good. I feel like there's a real obvious one I'm not thinking of. Blast Blues is real nice. Street Fighter EX2 is really not good. Really good. Nigh good. Anti-air jab. Fucking Neko Punch got hit by an air normal. My favorite CVS2 one is the one where it's like, this is the true love we're making. That's the one with the rhymes like Michael Jordan. That's the best one. MVC1 roll theme. Remember that shit? Killer Instinct. Fucking Orchid's theme. Black Orchid. It's funny as fuck hearing that song come on. I think Roll is a meme character in MVC1. She gives me that impression from looking at her moves. I think she's like a gag. Mega Man already doesn't feel that strong, and Roll's got like a worse version of all of Mega Man stuff. She's probably like the worst character in the game, but I don't actually know. Actually, it's probably Zangief. Nice. It's hard to say. I was joking about it earlier. You guys have probably heard it. But NBC1 is the most balanced fighting game of all time because everyone has an infinite. That's the gag with that game. And you can try it. Go on YouTube and search MVC1 Infinite. And you'll see just a nonstop, like, every single video is like a different character's infinite being demonstrated for like the first 10 results. It's like actually pretty funny if you do it. I remember pausing on the screen where it showed Roll's fucking, what's it called? Hyper Roll? I forget. But I remember pausing on that screen as a kid. Being like, damn, look at her. looking real hard to win. Psych! This won't kill though, will it? He doesn't have a meter. Does it matter against Chun-Li? Oh, he dropped it! Tommy! He's gonna get chipped. Or that. I never played any Gundam game. By the way. There are a lot of mech fighting games in Japan that have combat kind of like Custom Robo, if anyone ever played that. That's like a popular fighting game genre for arcades in Japan. And they're not... I can't think of like any example that took off in the West in any way. Oh, Dissidia kind of has that kind of battle system. But that battle system is kind of popular in Japan. Japanese arcade games. Where you've got this huge arena and you can move around on the ground like that. Yeah, Rachel On was one of them. Oh my god, going for these parries and not even getting anything. If he did parry into low strong, Chun-Li could have potentially done like a super cancel and beaten it. And a lot of people have trouble distinguishing a block from a hit from a parry. I mean, they'll be ready for the block versus hit, but then throw in a parry and they'll treat it like a hit. Mortal Kombat 2 SNES port is just fine. You guys know that Mortal Kombat 2 got a update not so long ago? I guess it's kind of a while ago now. It's called Mortal Kombat 2 Tournament Edition, I think. Or maybe it's called Ultimate Mortal Kombat 2. That might be it. And it's a rebalance. It's fan-made. It's not like official or anything. And it adds like characters who have poor mix-ups. It makes some of their close normals into overheads, for example. It fixes some of the juggles on some characters who are kind of weak in the juggle areas. Mortal Kombat 2 is a fairly good competitive game, while also being very simple. There's a surprising, like, it's actually pretty cool to both watch and play. It's a lot better than you would probably think from being, one, a Mortal Kombat game, and two, one of the oldest Mortal Kombat games. Yeah, I don't know if it was the same team, but UMK3 also had like a, I think that one's called UMKT, because there was a Mortal Kombat trilogy and a UMK3, and they just combined the names or something. The juggle system of Mortal Kombat 3 is extremely cool. It's like way better than it has any business being. It's very simple, but also cool. Oops, I just said it was cool. The trick is that a lot of moves juggle will stop juggling if the combo gets to more than 4 hits. Which is a super, super simple rule, but also lets you optimize combos in really different ways depending on the route you're taking. Balanced. Shao Kahn got buffed 2 patches in a row, right? I really like the way airborne versus grounded punishes work. That's something I'll say really nice about Mortal Kombat 3. That's super, super interesting. Because some characters get really good grounded punishes, but really bad airborne punishes, and vice versa. And the way that moves will be unsafe is like some characters, or certain moves will recover in the air and certain moves will recover on the ground. So if you block like a Scorpion teleport, for example, he bounces off you and he's airborne. So then you can get a couple anti-air jabs. and then you can cancel into like a spear, for example, if you're a scorpion yourself. Or maybe you can do anti-air jab into teleport and then juggle a spear from there. It's super cool. I talked about that a little bit when I talked about my tiers video. It's one of my older videos now. I talk about how tiers exist and whatnot. It's one of my more viewed ones too. But Scorpion is a good example of a character where his grounded punishes are not very strong. It'll just be like spear into like down two, down, crouching back punch, and that's not super strong at all. Or maybe like down or spear into close punch, back. What is it? Close kick, back, close kick, something like that. I forget. Or it's back kick, and then back into back kick. Whatever. I don't remember his strings. His punish won't be super good. He'll only get like a 20% punish on the ground, but if the opponent's airborne, he'll get like a 40 to 50% combo. Scorpion gets different amounts of damage, depending on whether the opponent's airborne or grounded. I used to play Mortal Kombat 3 quite a lot. I even played it competitively just a little bit. I usually used Human Smoke because I'm a fag. I think Human Smoke is either top 1 or top 2. I think the current top tier is like Cabal, Human Smoke, and I think Kano. Something like that. The distance between the top and bottom tiers is not as huge as you would probably think. Especially between the high and low tiers is actually fairly small. But the actual tiers themselves are fairly... It's like hard to find two characters who are actually as strong as each other, if you know what I mean. Like, you'll find 5/5s. But, like, generally speaking, it's like, you know, the better characters, and then the worst characters. It's not like a plateau of a bunch of characters who are all about equal. A lot of the high tiers are super interesting. You ever seen Reptile being played? He's got like picture Guile's V-skill fireball from Street Fighter 5, but then picture it launches on hit. Reptile's got that. They maintained that for Mortal Kombat 9, but then they kind of changed him up a little bit in Mortal Kombat X. He was still pretty neat in Mortal Kombat X, but Mortal Kombat 9 was a fairly faithful rendition of what he was all about in Mortal Kombat 3. This isn't Tomy, I don't think, judging by the SA1 use and different color and the general way of playing, but I couldn't tell you who it is. Maybe it's Mimura, who knows. This is an Oro player? SA1 Oro. Or I can go either way in this matchup. SA1 is more reliable. It's funny because SA2 is quite reliable because of the extra meter it gives you. Ooh. Oh, that went so far. Yeah, Wake Up Stomp. That's a punish. That's the annoying thing about Wake Up Stomp, is if it only gets one hit, even if it hits, it's unsafe. It's the second hit that knocks over. Not impressed by this Oro yet. 3 stone. And then just the corner push, that's all? Okay. Makoto's so short is actually surprisingly good for interrupting Oro out of his stuff. Wow! Also a really bad punish on that dash punch. He did overhead instead. I would have met Makoto midair there, for sure. Backdash. Wake up backdash, I see you. Double jump was actually not a bad play there. It looked really awkward, but I think it was actually pretty good. If you commit to something, any air button, and Makoto parries it, she can like jump fierce you and knock you back into the corner. So even though the double jump looked super awkward, it was just very unexpected to do, and had a good chance of, it had a low chance of being like preempted by Makoto. But he ended up not escaping. Well, Well, that was a cool aura for 2 seconds. He played like he probably knew what he was doing, but he didn't really get anything going. That's how it goes against Makoto sometimes. Jump jab. Jump jab and jump short are seen from Alex sometimes as setups for the command grab. Because they have very low hit stun. Stun? Yep. Nice. A lot of Alex players do that. Take a throw and then instant EX slash elbow. That was a dash punch that Makoto got grabbed out of. Oh yeah, but if you do the jump short or jump jab and Makoto anticipates a command grab, she might jump out, and if she's jumping out, that can open things up for you as Alex. So oftentimes you'll do like an air light normal into like then just pressure, and that can work pretty well. Parries, aggressive ass parries. Oh, nice parry, nice punish. Alex wasn't having it. Parrying an EX dash punch on reaction is possible, but only if you're watching for it and only if you're fucking on point. It's a lot easier to parry one on accident. Put it like that. Okay, we're starting. Kodama versus Drama. Dorama. When did the words start? Two separate credit things? Fight Kid doesn't do this. Are they actually putting in fucking 50 yen pieces or whatever? I figured they put it on event mode where you don't need credits. Or like you still need credits for event mode. I figured they put it on free play with event mode. AT are fucking close forward. Looks so funny. A lot of towards Renhouse and towards forward with Ibuki, she recovers once she hits the ground, I think. So even though you theoretically get like frames where you can do stuff to her, if you parry either of those attacks, like I think she can theoretically like recover into a low forward. You can definitely parry that, the overhead, and then she can just block if you try and low forward the recovery of it. Nice. It's cool seeing an Ibuki. I've gotten a lot of exposure to this character just recently. There aren't a lot of Ibuki players in the world, but, you know, with Bungus playing this character, he's gotten some good headway on how she functions. That was a dash, I think, that she got grabbed out of. Most of what makes Ibuki good is really hard to... She's a lot safer than you would probably guess. I think you have to open the cabinet anyway to start getting into the dip switches and stuff. Nice. A lot of things that would be a punish on other characters are like a mix-up on Ibuki. Or a lot of things that would be like a mix-up are just safe for her. Like how she can do wake up uppercut or wake up EX uppercut and then cancel the SA1. That's safe. So in order to actually punish it, you have to like... You can't even parry the uppercut to punish it. You have to make the parry whiff, or you have to make it so she doesn't get the cancel window. One I did at a recent Wednesday Night Fights was I jumped and then I parried midair. It's what people often do against Ibuki. and then she loses the cancel window because she's airborne. A lot of her attacks, like low forward or low roundhouse or the slide, a lot of her attacks are very difficult to punish, or very difficult, very unrealistic to parry in neutral. You'll eat like hits just trying to look for those parries. And then even if you get a parry on max range Shibuki low forward, most characters don't get a whole lot. Like Ryu gets a sweep, or maybe a low forward SA1 if he's got that. That's pretty much it. Low forward fireball, EX fireball. But none of those are that strong. And he'll probably eat like enough damage to justify that just purely in the process of trying to hit her, trying to get the parry off. So even though Ibuki's pretty low health, she's remarkably like, and even though her mix-up isn't super duper solid, it's okay. She's mostly just a very, very safe character. Nice. Ooh, it's too far away from the corner though. He has no SA2 stuff. Oh, attention set up. There it is. That was a perfect hit. He got a big charged engine because of that, because Makoto got hit airborne. Now he's going to get most of the meter back and probably win as well. That was a red. Red parries against fireballs are very good because they prevent people from... It allows you to punish like a dash-in or whatever approach, which would normally be safe or safe-ish. Cool. I wonder if that comboed. That was so far away. It didn't. I knew. Early jump fierce. Ooh, EXS punch? I would. Yep. Oh, this is tension set up. Got hit. Got hit. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. Ooh, that hurts so much. Oh, that's not what you do. But you could have I was gonna say you could have another dungeon by the end of this, but now it's looking pretty unrealistic. Ryu was like looking to lose. Completely turn this around. He's done 3 EX moves since his dungeon. Could have been another dungeon by now. That's all I'm saying. EMA 2045X. Oh, Ryu changed supers. Oh, it dropped. Ken's TC can be really wacky sometimes. I think it might be late cancels by the players. I like tried to find, for the Ken video, I tried to find the characters where Ken TC into hard Hado wasn't a combo, and I couldn't actually find any. I didn't test everyone. But I always thought that that wouldn't be a combo on certain characters or at certain ranges or whatever, but I got it to work really consistently. It did have to be heavy Hado, though. Oh, that's unfortunate. Air EX Tatsu is consistent, but the hits flash on and off so rapidly that you have to be very precise about when you activate it and what your angle is. But it does have like, there's no randomness to it. It's like a Buki, not a Buki, it's like a Jury Ultra 2. I love when I see shit like that. Or I can do those as well with his SA2. Oh, you're parrying my super? Let me grab you. Believe it or not, you can still escape stuff like that. You just have to tech the throw and then go straight to parrying. In other games, if you do Ken's TC into like a motion, if you're hitting down during the hard punch, it will still come out. But in SF3, if you're hitting down during the hard punch, it won't come out. So you've got to be really careful with your TC that you don't buffer the motion in such a way that it makes the fireball impossible, or it makes the hard punch impossible while buffering the fireball. That might trade. Wow, it didn't. I didn't think I had any invincibility, or I thought it had no invincibility, but it would still come out. I'm really surprised that didn't trade. I think Necro Super 1 has invincibility. I wouldn't be surprised if Super 2 had invincibility. Necro might have 3 invincible supers, which is kind of cool. Very rare. Probably like half of all supers in this game have some invincibility. Maybe a bit more. Oh, no juggle. That probably would have been stun. That's a combo. Background house is plus a fuck ton. In fact, background house combos raw into EX spinning hook. Whoa. No, this is the com Remy. Got that Oro player. Air Nova would have just won, actually. He did air parry. But he could have done like jump roundhouse, and it would have beat the drill. Okay, this is super good. He didn't have any meter, though. Super here? Nope. I like that, actually. Okay, super here. This is good. Necro should jump. Oro failed to beat it. He anticipated it, but he still failed to beat it. An error, I would have done a heavy fireball as Oro. No, Necro Super 2 might have invincibility. Necro might have 3 invincible supers. Oh, he missed the juggle. Crouch face into super was optimal there. He went for it. It's cool that he was looking for that. I like this. He doesn't get a real mix-up here, but he does get pressure and a corner. Necro should have canceled that to super. He should have been buffering super for the whole time he was smashing that. Oh, I hate seeing an aura go down. You can literally just mash like quarter circles constantly while you're mashing punches, while you're mashing your electricity. As long as you're mashing punches, Necro will keep doing the electricity. And you can just buffer a super motion nonstop while you're doing that, and the nanosecond the super gets any kind of connect, Necro will get a cancel into SA2. Or I mean SA1. I mean SA3, any of them. Hype for Oro. I don't think he'll happen, but if he does happen, then I'd be kind of hyped for him. I'm like kind of not hyped for Oro. Because I feel like SF5 only has like a year or so left. And I feel like if Oro makes it now, especially if people don't like him, he'll never make it to SF6. I'd prefer for him to be a debut character in SF6 than a fucking character now in SF5. Thanatos, I think, used to play a lot more than he does now. Tanlatosu. I like SF5, but I've always been of the opinion that it needs a rather large gameplay overhaul that I don't think will ever happen. Does that work? It works as a cancel from the spinning hook, but he did it as like a juggle. But I can see that working on Alex because Alex takes an unusually long time to hit the ground during juggles. He'll get like super close to the ground without actually hitting the ground. I think it's pretty obvious they're developing SF6 right now. I think it's very possible they're developing SF6 as a launch title for the PS. PS5, and Sony's footing the bill in some way. I want a much more elaborate combo system in terms of juggles. That's my wish list number one. SF5 and SF4 both had fairly boring juggle systems. I don't need anything super nutty. I don't need like marble. But like a little tiny shade of marble. Nice. I feel like SF5 doesn't actually have that much of a comeback mechanic to it. It's just the game itself. It's very easy for you to get like a couple 50-50s right and you just win. Obviously, trigger makes that even easier, but I think people often incorrectly point to trigger as being the thing that allows that to happen when it's really just like momentum leading to itself, especially with certain characters. Like G is the really easy one to point to right now. Obviously, G's VT1 is super good, but really, G gets a command grab into momentum, and he also gets a hit into momentum. So if he's right 3 times, he dizzies you and like does a shit ton of damage, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't have to have. Obviously, trigger makes that like more feasible, but it's just SF5 in general. It's the lack of defensive options and the easiness of the reads and how rewarding the reads are mean that comebacks are super easy at any stage of the match. And it's got, the resources aren't even the big thing. SF3, you really have to earn your comebacks. I shouldn't say really, it depends on your character as well. But often you'll earn your comebacks through like good guest parries. It'll be a test of both your reads and your execution, and that feels very fun. It feels fun on both sides is really the key. Well, it feels fun on both sides for me. Maybe other people might disagree. But for me, it's really fun trying to make those aggressive reads at endgame because I have to in order to make a comeback. But it's also really fun for me to try and be unpredictable when I'm sitting on a life lead to try and prevent guess reads. I like what third strike tests from the player. It's hard to even call parries a comeback mechanic because they're available to both players all the time. It's just people have to go for parries after a certain stage in the match. So even though you might not want to go for a parry here, all of a sudden when your ability to block is taken away. Yikes. But he didn't have it yet. Third strike has a mechanic that's always available, but like forces you to use it at endgame. That's just higher risk, higher reward. That's a very clean comeback mechanic right there. Third strike can do a nice job of resetting you to neutral, but then there's characters like Dudley and Ken, where every knockdown, every wake up mix up leads to a super, and every super leads to a wake up mix up. And they've got 3 supers. I know you're being ironic and I see the kappa, but this is almost true. SF2 happens so quickly that it's okay to play long sets. And long sets truly are the best comeback mechanic. Even if it's like a fucking really bullshit game, if you get a nice long set, you feel like you deserved your loss. If you lose 3 games in a row, it's like, nah, that guy solidly beat me. What do you mean by frame advantage on parries? Every parry offers frame advantage for the most part. Do you mean... No, I don't even know what... I need to know what's being asked here. That's a hard question to answer because I don't understand. Parries do grant extra frames of recovery, if you didn't know that, if that's what you're asking. A jab might naturally have... Um, jab might naturally have like 6 recovery frames, but if you parry the jab, it's got the 6 recovery frames plus like 8 more recovery frames. So you have like 16 frames to do something. Or 14 with my numbers that I gave. Even neutral, you're like Hugo's a little bit minus. Even if you parry clap, Hugo's a bit minus, but it's just a smidge. Fighting games I'm looking forward to. I can't immediately think of one. I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it. I'm curious about Grand Blue Fantasy, but the chances of me actually playing it are pretty low. Camp Fighters 15 is currently in development, so I'm watching that one. I'm anticipating that. That's the one. I don't even know what they'll do for the next Smash game. I feel like Smash Ultimate is super hard to follow up. I feel like they're gonna have a super hard time ever doing another Smash game for like the next 10 years unless they have like a lot of new IPs, because there aren't that many characters left to add. I feel, especially considering that some of the characters that are left to add are probably gonna be added as DLC. What if we really do get fucking Minecraft Steve? I feel like the only Smash character who justified uh, Smash Ultimate in any way was the Inkling. Every other new character was just like wouldn't have normally had a place in Smash except they had no one else to add. You know what I mean? But the Inkling is definitely justified. Oh, I'll keep an eye out on the new Unist game, new Unil game. This Poil Necrocom. Can't even figure out what he's doing. I got a big sneezing problem. Is this enough? Oh, he did the EX. Yeah, definitely enough. I didn't know who the fuck Joker was, to be honest. I'm surprised people are asking about like Terry Bogard or Banjo. Okay, I think most people know who Banjo is. When fucking Joker's in the game. I feel like most people don't play Persona. Ooh, he did the follow-up, right? Or did he? Right? Yeah, that doesn't normally end like that. I forgot that was a thing. In Street Fighter 4, the ender for Spin Scythe is something you just always do. But in this game, it's a mix-up to make it safer, basically. See, that's the normal ender. She just kicks you upward. But you can mash, you can get a launching, that's the launching ender, the natural one. But you can get an ender that doesn't launch but has a different punish timing. And you can do that with the regular ones as well, but you can't combo into the regular ones, so you like have to do that with the regular ones. Face. Wasn't one of the A-team face? I don't remember any of the A-team's names. Which one was Mr. T? He had like two. He had two like letters in his name. He had like a BJ Blazkowicz kind of name. But I don't remember what it was. Mr. T wasn't the fucking A-team guy's name. It was the actor. BA, that should be enough to remember it, but I don't remember it. BA Barracus. That's such a cool name. The BA must stand for badass. Bad attitude, also good. That's such a cool name, holy shit. How did they do it? Yes, I did have casual fun. Sometimes they kill the stream almost immediately every time, which is a shame because I'd like if they just kept it on for casuals and shit. Because that's when the real BAF characters come out. I think one time they just packed up instantly, but usually I get some games with Bungus in. Okay, the premise of the A-team is literally like right there in the opening. If you watch the opening, like the title, whatever, for the show, it just lays it all out for you. That's one of the lines from it. 4 guys were framed for a crime they didn't commit. Now they're fucking soldiers of fortune or whatever bullshit. They're mercenaries or something. They just show up and fucking fire guns and people like jump out of fucking cars and that's it. That's the show. I did not know it was a thing, but it's whatever. No one gets shot. In the whole fucking show, at no point does anyone get shot. It's almost a gag. They'll fire like thousands of bullets over the course of the fucking show. And people will just be diving out of the way of bullets and shit like that, and then they'll be defeated because they dived out of the way. Ooh, cool. Oh, I've done that. Got the link. Low short into light Tatsu. Big brain. Oh, the juggle. Into the reset. That's cool. Never seen that one. Oh, the car throw. Oh no. Where's the second uppercut? Oh. I know, I was enjoying that. Is it Tax? We're gonna go straight on to another Elena. Yeah. Tax is a better Elena anyway than Ore. Reminder that Ore is like me. Imagine your handle was just me. This Ken is Shibuya, which is a place in Japan. You can cancel Tatsu from into SA3, but it's not something you'll ever go for. It's mind-bogglingly difficult. It has to be the startup hit. And it's a quarter circle back into double quarter circle forward. And you can't use it to confirm at all or anything. You'd rather do any other move canceled to... For both execution and damage, you'd rather do any other move canceled to Shippu. It's like the same. It's actually, I guess it's technically harder. Because Akuma can do it into air moves too. Akuma's got 2 air supers. And he can do Tatsu into air super. So that gives you a little bit of extra time. Fab. Final Atomic Buster. Healing Elena. This is typical in this matchup to pick healing. Healing kills a lot of your offensive presence, but it's not like Elena has super opportunities left and right. Most Elena players aren't even that aggressive with parries, and parries her main super. And the ability to heal. The ability to stall to build meter while also halting up Hugo's approach. And then the ability to heal pretty much whenever you want to. Mean that Hugo has a super hard time keeping ahead in damage. This matchup isn't too bad. It's a lot better than you would think, given the archetype of the characters, given Elena's history in Street Fighter 4, and Hugo's history in various fighting games. But honestly, Hugo and Elena are not far apart tier-wise in this game. And turtling is harder than you would think in Third Strike. And healing is not as good as you would think. That meter is pretty long. You'll get 1 per round, maybe 2. The thing is, you don't even want to use the healing until you've taken a good amount of damage. So it's probably deep into the round that you'll even use healing in the first place. And then you're back to 0 deep into the round. So getting multiple healings per round is not easy. This is the match where it's the easiest. And it's looking pretty nice for him here. But that's because he did a super early healing. There's another one. Yeah, look at that, full HP. Is it a perfect? I think it got her. It's got a very SF4 look to it, that matchup. But it's definitely not as bad. Actually, it probably is about as bad. Because SF4, I think it was overrated a little bit. SF4 is a more balanced game in general. So a really busted character in a more balanced game is about as bad as a fairly even matchup in a less balanced game. I wouldn't call this fairly even. It's definitely in Elena's favor. SF4 Hugo had a very fun mix-up. It's a shame that zoning was better, because like that prevented him from really getting going. But the way that his mix-up worked was a lot more busted, with like stuff on the armor for the Stained Fears. Or like the running bear having a follow-up that does like a third of your health. Or like Ultra Throw having a fucking Ultra follow-up that does like 40%. 1 frame links, probably no. Maybe 2 frame links though. If I ever made a fighting game, all the plus frames would be even, and all the startup would be odd. You'd have a +4 move and 3 frame startup. You can see this Hugo giving Tax a lot more problems. He's dead to a super, maybe not anymore. I'd say this is a wash. I'd try to die as fast as possible if I was this Hugo. There you go. Omega Gala is super fun. Ooh, good trade for Hugo. He gets a lot of dizzy on that. I know. That's airborne. It's very important how you land that SA1 in this matchup. Because if you miss it, it becomes really hard to win. Oh, too early. So go either way. Oh, I like the idea. Elena's probably going to get another healing, but even with the healing, I think he'll die to an SA1, so. You can see how hard Elena's trying. Oh no! You can see how hard Elena's trying not to get thrown, but it just made her get thrown. Having a motion move is a tiny piece of why Mega Gal is fun. In order to safely escape the S720, you have to burn some of that precious meter that was his heal. It is a good motion move. It's good in combos, and it's not like it invalidates his other moves. That's the really cool thing about Guile, is that his two new special moves don't invalidate his other moves. Very nice. I would have whiffed some more of those strongs if it was me. Kind of awkward from both players. Anti-air parry into a button is not super common against Elena because Elena could be doing jump in TCs to fuck with that. And it's not even rare. Jump in, jab towards forward. Quite a regular anti-air for Elena to go for, or regular jump in. Works on all characters and it's 2 parries instead of 1. Or those, jump roundhouse. That's a bit harder to time. It's very easy to get one hit only. Nice. That's why Mount Smash sucks. This has been a dissertation by Beth. Mount Smash sucks because if they parry it, they can low forward super you. And also it's a reactable parry. I parry that all the fucking time against Lena. And I get free, like, juggles. It's very easy to react to if you just think about it. Sadly, Elena is a better character if you don't touch her special moves at all. As a general rule of thumb, uppercut is useful in combos. EX version only of Spin Scythe is useful in combos, and that's about it. Both EX Mallet Smash and EX Rhino Horn have some utility as anti-airs. And that's all. So you've got one special move that's useful for its meterless version, and then 4, I guess 3 that are useful for their EX versions. And that's it. And she's got 5 special moves. They tried with Elena to give her special moves that had utility in neutral, but not much utility in combos. So they made it hard to combo into any of them. But also, they give them things like overhead and low properties. Yeah, but every single one of them, there's like a hard counter. Oftentimes it'll just be like block on reaction and then hit a button. The mix-up isn't super solid and they're all kind of parry weak. Although they are different parry directions. Elena herself is parry weak. She has a hard time putting a lot of force behind errant hits. And it's easy to put a lot of force behind a parry. In this matchup in particular, for example, Chun-Li gets 50% if she parries anything. And you get like 10% for every successful mix-up you get. Oh no, Chun-Li short. That whiffed on her. Let's go, Justin. Okay. Takahashi. We got a Q. I say one Q. You can go either way in this matchup, I think. Ooh, very nice. A lot of damage here. He's going to even it out instantly. That's how this matchup goes. It's definitely in Chun-Li's favor neutral-wise. But Q can hang in the damage. It's just hard getting those openings. See the super jump to keep himself safe. Oh, what the fuck? Hard command grab. Yep. Double dash. Okay, just spends the EX. The easiest way to make Danger a good super would be the ability to cancel special moves into the fucking swing. Just remove the install entirely, and you've got a fairly good super. Just make it so down forward kick is a command grab, and down forward punch is a hit. And you're actually you've got a pretty good super there. It would be okay compared to his other two supers. Isn't taunting in this situation a bad idea because of how it fails? I don't know. Taunting is good if Chun-Li doesn't have a super, because she usually can't do as much damage as your taunt builds. Oh, you're talking about the end of that last round? Or what? If if Q has low HP, the taunts become less useful because they increase his defense. And not his HP. Nice. That's a hard motion. Chun-Li crossed under. Yeah, end round taunts are usually not that good. Sometimes Q won't have anything else to do, so he'll just taunt anyway. But generally, the less HP has, the less useful a taunt is. Tominaga. No, I think SA3 having 1 bar is okay. And it not being as long as the SA2 bar is okay as well. But I would like if he could do like dash punch canceled to the swing SA3. Or if you could do a raw SA3 for a command grab. Did I say G again? I can't help it. I almost said it like 3 times. G has fucked up my interpretation of Q. Invariably. No, I say just let him have both for the same meter cost. It'll be like Oro's EX super with his 1 bar supers. You just get 2 different attacks depending on which one you need. That matchup is super hard. We all know. Like a suicide from the Harakiri from Yoshimitsu. Does the damage to the opponent 1 frame before it does it to you. Ooh, not a great mirror though. Oh, it was enough. It still controlled Makoto's movement enough. She could have jumped over it. It was far enough away from her that it was not too hard. Oh, so it's always 40% to Q, but 40% of Q's health is all of a sudden like 100% of yours. That's unfortunate that played out the way it did. Oh. Ooh, pretty nice. 4 tackles. He got a very optimal. Makoto can dash under an EX mirror. Delete this character. Can't get anything big mean here. Headbutt's really good. Oh, that's bad. This is dizzy, isn't it? Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, good damage here. Get the mid-screen unblockable. That dropped several times. Headbutt. Couldn't get over in time. Makoto's in the mirror, though. Yeah, very nice. Tommy getting beaten. This is a thing. Ibarra. Whenever one team wins too early, they just have the people remaining on that team like duke it out, I think. Just so everyone gets to play. Oh, headbutt is so good against Hugo. You gotta juggle out of it. Even the meterless ones. You always gotta juggle out of the X one. Nice. Lariat's fucking hard to use in this game. It's very shitty. Take away Light Lariat from SF4 and you get a good idea of what Lariat's like in this game. Remove the only good one. This game is what if every Lariat was hard Lariat from SF4. Nice. 2 wake up supers. If you got an invincible super, you might as well. It's your fucking blessing. Make it do some stuff. EX Mirror. It's a lot. EX Mirror is a lot harder to do anything about. Oh. That's a red parry. But EX Mirror commands pressure for a much smaller time, and it doesn't take that much screen either. Like usually when you do like a medium mirror, the opponent's forced to back up quite a lot. But an EX Mirror just sits there right where you fucking threw it. Doesn't move forward. There was no randomness to it, I'll tell you that. That was all part of Ibarra's plan. Shinobu. Yun's palm. Remember, oh, he got the EX Lariat. Nice. Remember, AE memes about Yun's palm? How he could just put the palm up in the daytime and then come back at night and the hitbox is still there. Shit like that. That's how it is in this game. But the short range and long start up of palm mean that it's not actually that good, even though its hitbox is busted. It's okay. It's definitely not horrible, but you'd get an inflated idea of how good it is from SF4. Oh, the lariat. Some characters can probably duck lariat, but I don't know. I don't know because you never see it. Probably because some characters can duck it. That's an awkward, like, negative feedback loop in this game for a lot of special moves, where you don't really, because they have hard counters, you don't have to deal with them very often. And because you don't have to deal with them very often, you don't know what the counters are. Nice. That wastes most of the Gennai time. That wasted the rest. This matchup is rather famous for being not that bad for Hugo. Last tier list I saw put it at 6-4 in Yun's favor, which is quite close. What's a pipum? Is it a pimp? Did I just get called a pimp? Fujiwara, this is Hugo's counter pick. Everyone cry for Ibarra. Everyone cry for the 8-2. Imagine being a Hugo player and getting matched in an 8-2 against fucking one of the best players in the world of that character. Now we get to see how much it really matters, though. I don't know if I believe this is a real 8-2. I can believe 7-3. But Dudley never really got anything going, did he? That's a good start. Well, now. Oh, a little late on that one. The short swing blow cancel there was in case he got parried. He would jump out of throw range. Cool little tech. Oh, double uppercut. There it is. He got the ender. He dropped that during casuals earlier. But he did it in a different scenario. But that's what it looks like. This is looking a lot more miserable. Now that there was no momentum on Hugo's end. This is looking a lot more miserable. This is looking nice and unfun. Yup. It was impossible to super there after the parry. He could have supered before the parry. But after the parry, he was still in parry stop when the throw happened. It was possible to tech the throw. But he could not super through the throw. Because he hadn't yet gotten to his recovery from the parry. Furo. I think they put it on the wrong side, though. Oh, it was such a good idea. I think he wanted super, though. Interesting punish. Unfortunately, Yang's punish options really are kind of nerfed a little bit when he's got a super up. However, he does get unblockables on Dudley. Dudley is one of those characters. Which naturally makes Sayambu quite good against him. Uppercut. Yang's burst damage to Sayambu is very low. Yang's burst damage in general is pretty low. Alright, what we got? Kind of weak pressure. There we go. Overhead stuff. And then a little bit of... I'm surprised he didn't complete his Rekus there. Hit on the ground. Ouch. This hurts. No super. SA3 Dudley would have spent it in a heartbeat. SA1 Dudley is a little bit more conservative. Oh yeah, the shadows trade all the fucking time. You can't preempt. Ooh, the jump. That was fucking smart. And they need a corner only combo. Fujiwara is something else. That combo only works if Dudley's cornered because his short swing blow gets extra range. He doesn't duck back as far, basically. But he still moves forward the same amount. Dudley's neck is so goddamn thick. Is that it? Where are the casuals? I just see a Chun. Okay, I see Tomi. Fujiwara versus Tomi sounds great. Dudley does have a Chad neck. I love the hard punch Dudley or whatever it is, the berries and cream. Hi, Luke. Oh, the stand strong didn't hit. Or stand forward, I think, actually. Balak has a very similar normal on strong. Oh no. Oh no, it's over. He had some prior stun, this'll dizzy. The follow-up combo can't kill, can it? Or can it? Oh, EX would have killed. He got close enough to the corner, I feel. No, I never ever talked about making a trip to Co-op Cup. That'll never happen. That's like the opposite of something I would suggest could happen. I do not travel. Don't worry, they'll probably keep playing. And then Fujiwara will probably win. But right now we've just got a dumb calm Dudley. Here we go. Fujiwara to me feels like one of the all-time greats. And Tomi's certainly made a name for himself, but he's a much more recent player than a lot of the other guys. So it's like crazy to think that Tomi's this good. That universal overhead hit meaty. He had a link to super, but I think he hadn't built the super yet. Love that. Fukiaga hitting on the ground. Does it against Dudley and Hugo, and maybe some others, who knows? Only when they're dizzy. Fukiaga can hit a lot of characters on the ground, just not on their standing animations. But like any attack that puts out a normal, Fukiaga can often beat it. Oh. Fukiaga can hit like stand jabs and stuff. I found out just recently that Omega Makoto, when she's got her super up, her light Fukiaga has invincibility. Like a fucking uppercut. I was like, holy shit. Because what else do you say other than holy shit? There hasn't been a bath cup since I found that out. I'd like to spring it on Spab so no one tell him. Quite interesting though. It also hits grounded opponents. All versions of her Fukiaga hit grounded opponents when her super's active. I didn't check if it was throwable, but it's definitely invincible. Yeah, the idea with Omega Makoto is definitely to put up the super as fast as possible. A lot of her features get dramatically enhanced when she's in super. Unfortunately, you can't cancel into super unless you spend 4 bars. But when she's in super, every single combo Makoto has does like 400 damage. Is he going to counter? No, we're off. I think it still counters backwards. Dudley will still do his counter even if he dies. But he still loses. Makoto gets 2, 3, or 4 bar supers depending on the amount of meter you spend. Unfortunately, being able to do Stain Fierce into SA2 is mostly like Legacy, and it doesn't seem to be optimal in any way. It seemed like they tried to visually recreate some of her combos from this game in Omega, but a lot of them aren't really worth doing. Why am I watching this Calm Dudley get beaten up? This Mr. Tax, I wonder? Gemranos is a super good air to air. It's probably the single best air to air normal in the whole game. For both its massive range and its 2 hits and its good damage and dizzy output. Elena is quite strong in terms of meeting someone midair. Probably not a bath cup since 2 of my friends had birthdays in the last month, and we're probably going to be celebrating them both at once. Which means, technically speaking, I should probably go get some cake ingredients tonight. I had a stomach flu the last 2 days, so I actually stayed home from work 2 days ago, and I went to work very sick yesterday. And honestly, I don't even feel that good yet, but I don't want to. We don't get that many days all off together, and everyone agreed on tomorrow for the birthday. So I'm just gonna do it. Oh no! See, that was Fukiage beating a Stairman House. Yeah, both of Makoto's Ultras in Omega mode get the partial connect in any scenario where you combo into them. It's not just juggles. And it's not like the raw Ultras are better. She still has like a command grab to Ultra for free. To either Ultra, but to Ultra 1 for free. And to Ultra 2 for 2 bars. I know they're trying to nerf Ultras in general, but Makoto's Super is weirdly not strong. Probably because they want it to be strong and neutral. But Makoto has a super hard time putting together like a 600 damage combo. Which is something that almost every character in Omega can do. With just a basic super combo. But Makoto has no basic super combo. The best I can find is any combo to dash punch, activate super into towards strong, stand short, uppercut, and then juggle dash punch. And that altogether does like 500 for the optimal connects. But then you're left in super. With about half your super left, a little bit more. So, you know, maybe you'll get more damage. 600 damage for the whole super versus 500 damage for the whole super, but then also like a super state for a little while. Feels like a pretty good trade, I guess. I think there's something I'm missing with Makoto because she still feels super weird. It feels like something's missing. Her wake-up game is so shit. It's like alarming how shit her wake-up game is. Her EX Chop has a smidge of invincibility. It's not fully invincible, it's just got some missing hitboxes. Her EX Fukiage has, EX Karkusa has like not that much range, but it's got a hit of armor. It needs a grounded opponent. Her Ultra 1 functions as a reversal. I don't know about Ultra 2. I don't think so. I think I labbed that at some point, and she doesn't leave the ground if you get hit out of it. And that's it. And then you've got some stuff in super. I feel like if she had armor on the EX headbutt, it would make so much sense, but she doesn't. I don't know what the EX headbutt does. You can link out of it, but you can link out of the regular headbutt. You might have a better link out of the EX headbutt. Is this kill? Tomi? This can kill. Does he get the meter? He doesn't get the meter. He doesn't get the meter. No, he gets the meter. He gets the meter. Oh my god, Tomi. Did you guys see that? You see how down he was? And then it's like, okay, I got a parry. Or it wasn't even a parry. It was like an anti-air Karakusa on Ken's like jump in that like whiffed. It like shouldn't have happened. And then he just won. Makoto's a fair character. A lot of characters in this game have some flavor of bullshit, speaking as an Oro player. It's hard to say who the best character is who doesn't have a flavor of bullshit. Probably like Akuma. Or like Ryu. Probably Ryu. No, Ryu's Denjin is pretty bullshit. Chun-Li's Horyuken is pretty bullshit. Her low forward, more accurately, is pretty bullshit. Genei-Jin is pretty bullshit. Dudley and Ken both have looping Oki, which is pretty bullshit. Mirror's pretty bullshit. Yeah, Kuma is bullshit in general. I'm just trying to think of a character who has like no like really nasty thing. Probably a non SA3 Ryu is the best character who isn't like gross. Yang is pretty fair against most characters. He's only unfair against characters where he gets say unblockables, and that's not even that unfair. Yang is probably the best character who isn't immediately broken. Or doesn't have some component that's broken, rather. Oh. Joel does have the best way to dodge firewalls, it's not even a lie. He's also got some nice anti-air walking. Oh, see that? That's what happens if they don't parry the short. Looks a bit stupider then. EX was dizzy. Tommy. At the end of the day, he saved the bar. So I guess technically speaking, he did a better play than spinning the EX. Oh, it's over. Good game. Round ended at fucking 96 seconds. What a beautiful combo. Imagine this is your first time playing this game, and that happens to you. I know what you guys are thinking, but Makoto is actually not that bad even with shit like that. Look at that S plus rank. I'm not the most bullshit player to fight when you're new. I could do some bullshit things. I could definitely lay on some gimmicks. I know Oro's gimmicks. Shoutouts to Brent. I played Brent in Third Strike, and he played Ken and Chun-Li. And in one of the Chun-Li rounds, I looped him with EX Fireball unblockables that he didn't know how to quick stand out of. And I literally could have turned every single conversion into that and just won free. But I didn't. But I did win. I won one round like that. A second attempt at double Fukiyage, I don't know what you mean. Ooh. Cool. Oh. Oh! Awkward. His punish didn't combo, but of course Tommy wasn't blocking, because why would he be? I mean parrying. Wow, that traded with a fucking EX uppercut! I'm so mad. Why is Elena's EX uppercut so shitty? None of the regular ones have invincibility. Sean's EX uppercut stops being invincible the frame it hits, so you can have trades like that with Sean as well. Oh. You can Kara the... I thought you needed to Kara both. I don't think there's a second Kara. For most characters, I don't think there's a Kara on the second one that'll fix if you miss the Kara in the first one. But I don't know. I'm not a Makoto player. I thought you had to do the roundhouse Kara on both of them. been a while since I've thought about it. Ooh, cool parry, cool punish. How's EX Fukiage getting beaten by Liz Short? Cool meteor. Makoto generally gets more meteor than she needs. What's the wake up? Nothing. He's dead. Makoto's full. This matchup is probably pretty even. Even given Makoto's ridiculous damage output. Oro's got the same thing going on that Makoto does, where he can just kill you if he hits you. Makoto's has fewer escape options, but it's debatably harder. Ooh. Dummy only makes the right reads. I think they're way easier. It depends though. There's some variables depending on what kind of unblockables you're going for and how, where you want to be able to make them available. I mostly go for the really easy practical ones, but you can actually find unblockables in some pretty weird places with very specific setups, some of which require partitioning. Makoto has a lot of character-specific tricks too. Specificness. It's looking real good for Elena right now. As much as it really can. Parallaxing on the stage is real pretty. It is in Urian stage too. Oh, that's the kind of guy Tominaga is. No. He missed the parry. Oh, this background house. Okay. I suppose he went for neutral jump roundhouse there. I figured it'd be neutral jump parry, anticipating the X uppercut that was very feasible for Elena to do. This happened 6 days ago. It's very, very, very modern. Oh. You know what's funny is everyone always says nice things about Elena's beautiful standing animation, but if you look at her crouching animation, it's literally 3 frames. It's like hilariously bad. Watch Elena when she's crouching at some point in this round. I'll see if I can find a spot where we're just watching her crouch for a little bit. It should be fairly easy since Elena just sits and crouches a lot. Oh, cool cross under. Oh, that's big. He can win now. It's a 50-50, I feel. What's the mix? Oh. Of course Tomi takes the most risky option. Why would it even be a question? That was a nice comeback. See that whiff stand short to get him out of throw range, but he was still in Karakusa range? Uh-oh. Cool. Wake up super. Nice. And another fucking wake up Fukiage. I was super scared there. For a second, I thought the last hit of Makoto Super killed Elena somehow, but it was a staying short. Elena does have a dominant neutral here, I feel. As a regular Fukiage getting beat by back roundhouse. Back roundhouse is a super good normal in this matchup. But if it does get parried, it can get command grabbed anyway. Oh. This is not going to be an easy one. Super setups are not common. I was looking for him. He's looking for the low parry on the low strong or something. Staying short. Who knows? He was like, where's my fucking low parry, low strong SA2? But he couldn't find it. Show me some jump strong fierces, Elena. I want to see one of them. Ugh. Does that work? Wow, that was really far out. It's because he could use the heavy super. The heavy super is really good against some characters and really worthless against other characters. In terms of post Karakusa stuff. It depends on the tallness of the character and the angle. Makoto actually has some dead zones on some characters. She'll be able to get the Karakusa into combo from far out, but not from like mid-range. Like she'll have a heavy version that'll work past half screen, but she won't be able to do anything at half screen. All of the screen positions and follow-ups are 100% consistent, so you just have to be really good at recognizing the ranges and knowing your various options against various characters. Oh, the Karakusa. But it didn't work. I heard that Earlieth might be at Wednesday Night Fights next week. I think he's almost gone like 4 times. And I joked to him on Twitter that like, as soon as he goes, it'll be me and him in grand finals. I don't know if I could beat him. He's real good. He's one of the longtime greats. I have no idea like how I would play against him. Carfail's quite good himself. But like, Arleith was one of the S. One of the old US gods of this game. Maybe God is a bit strong, but he was playing it back when it was being played. So I don't know if I'm better than him or not. I want to find out, but also like, you know, I want to win. So it's a little scary, but I do hope he shows up. That double punch, double fisted punch. I think that particular move is one of the signatures of Shotokan Karate. The 2 fist punches. Like the real life Shotokan Karate. Why does wake up fucking Super 2 always work? I love how Tominaga said that doing that was one of his biggest player weaknesses, and yet he still does it all the fucking time. Pretty much everything Makoto does that isn't a special move is real. Makoto was definitely designed with realness in mind. I mean, I don't know if you can jump like super high and kick in the air. Like this. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, dude. When I do bullshit, it fucking never works. But when fucking great players do bullshit, it always works. Oro doesn't have a wake up super, though. Oro's only wake up super is EX Super 1, which I never pick. Kickboxing characters in Street Fighter. I guess you could technically say Muay Thai, right? Isn't Muay Thai technically loosely a kind of kickboxing? Um, no, I can't think of anyone. DJ might technically be a kickboxer. That sounds right. Like, there's probably someone in his move list or someone in his lore who says he's a kickboxer, but like what they actually do is like, you know, not realistic. Wake up SA3 isn't even big brain for Makoto. That's like a thing that you would really do. That's actually quite a good way of using that super. Since it lets you react to and potentially punish whatever they did. It's got a shit ton of invincibility. And I think it's frame 1 invincibility, no less. Why am I watching Tominaga beat up this dumb com? Urian? Yeah, a lot of invincibility after the startup. Don't you know the gimmick? It's it's got all the time the animation is playing, she's invincible, but she can cancel the animation whenever she wants to. So the nanosecond you cancel the animation, she instantly gets all her hitboxes back. So if you leave Makoto idle, attacks will just go through her, but if you tap forward, she'll parry the attacks instead, for example. It's very wacky. You can do some really interesting stuff with it. But once, you know, once that invincibility's over, you better have some nice momentum because you can't block anymore. You better never have to block, put it like that. You better never be wrong. You know, seen Mikesy play? I've only seen him play a few times. I wish I could make a fighting game, but unfortunately the animations of whatever fighting game I made would look worse than fucking Dong Dong Never Die, or whatever. So the name of the game I already forgot. EX Mirror is an anti-air combo from Staying Strong that was so sick, but then he messed up his charge, so we got a Stand Right Off instead of Heavy Tackle. That ended up looking so stupid and wasting so much meter. And it was such a strong start. Theoretically, the actual Illuminati Mansion bullshit is in Mexico. Which is why Urian stage is in Mexico. So theoretically, we are outside it right now. This stage does have really fucking sick parallaxing. Oh, he can win. Mirror here. Oh, neither mix-up played out. He's still okay, though. Okay. Just get a green screen and be every character myself. I remember reading that Brian Glynn, or what was that his name? I think the guy who was Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, or maybe both of them. Um, he's like an actual ripped dude IRL. Oh, the sub, thank you. And I remember hearing a rather famous blurb that the characters were digitally resized, and in fact, Ed Boon was taller than Brian Glynn. And I remember thinking, wow, that's cool when I was a kid. And then I remember hearing about fucking. Now, when I think back on that knowledge, and it's like, wow, it turns out every bodybuilder is short as fuck, and that's why they're bodybuilders. And also, like, Ed Boon is huge. Ed Boon is like fucking over 6 feet tall. It's a lot less impressive thinking about it these days. Oh, that hit the super. Back then, I thought a bodybuilder could be any height. Ooh. 6 feet is 185 centimeters, I think. So it's quite tall, but it's not like super duper tall. It's like the tall end of normal. Feet, like, it like hurts some people, you know what I mean? If you're like 5'11" versus 6 foot, that's like almost no fucking difference at all. But because it's like the difference of a 5 versus a 6, people act like it's a huge deal. Yurian's in a pretty desperate situation here. I think it's usually going to go to Makoto. There it is. I'm 6'1". I feel like height doesn't matter, but also I'm pretty tall. I would probably sell inches of my height, I think. I think if I got knocked down to like 5'10", but I got like $3,000, I think I'd take that trade. If I got $1,000 for every inch of height I lost, I'd probably go down to like 5'1". Just keep all that money. I don't know how low I'd go. Probably not much lower than 5'1". I remember seeing a poll one time that I thought was so fucked up, but also so funny. It was like, would you rather be a natural redhead or $500 in debt? And like every single person who voted on the poll put like $500 in debt. I was like, yeah, goddamn. People don't want to be redheads, I guess. I think it was a loaded question though, because I think most people don't want to change their appearance. Or they only want to change their appearance in very specific ways. Like I bet most redheads wouldn't want to be like fucking brown hair. One of my friends has red hair, and his mom is also a redhead, and she's like immune to anesthetics, most of the common ones. And she's got like a story about how she went to a dentist and had like a lot of dental work done with no anesthetic one time. It's like the most pain she'd ever been in or something. Hi. But she had like fucking 4 teeth drilled with no painkillers. When I think about that, I'm just like, goddamn, glad that's not me. Cool. He had another dash punch there, I think. Haven't hit a growth spurt yet. How fucking old are you? Why are some parts of your body so pain receptive? Why are my fucking nail beds? Why do my nail beds have so many nerve endings? Like what the fuck? Why is that so important, evolutionarily speaking? Why can I get like a teeny tiny little fucking cut in the fucking cutaneous or whatever, little part of your nail, and you try and pull it off with your teeth, and it feels like someone's driving a million daggers into it. Are we done? Uh-oh. That looks like there's still some matches left, maybe. I see a Urian. Yeah, this is a real Chun-Li versus Urian. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take a leak. One day I'll just get my computer chair replaced with a toilet, and you guys will just hear it in the middle of a fucking stream. I remember when the Wii U was cool because you could like take your controller into the bathroom and play your fucking Mario in there. And now there's the Switch. And also every Game Boy. That's good. Oh yeah, also smartphones. I don't even play video games in the bathroom anymore because I just watch YouTube. Watching YouTube is what I do like 80% of the time when I'm not streaming or fucking working on videos. I ran my hands underwater for 1 second, which is what I do whenever someone's not watching. Ooh, the EX tackle punish, that was cool. Urian can't walk in and get crutch fierce there, I suppose. Oh, EX tackle again. That was kind of sick. Let's go, Justin. He would never spin the meter there. Look at Chun-Li's legs. Holy shit. You guys see that freeze frame? Beautiful. Every frame of Chun-Li's legs is so perfect. Oh, it didn't hit. Really? Wow, it worked. Huh. I think you wanted close runoffs there. Oh, let's go, Justin. Oh no! One of the hits whiffed. Yeah, I think. I think one of the hits whiffed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he did 8 parries and he only had to parry 7 times. The break was in a place where he wasn't expecting it to be. Oh, that's brutal. What the fuck normal was that? You guys see that? Time out. Oh, it was just jump on us. It looked different to me for some reason. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Cool, jump away parry. Good way to stay safe. Whoa! Raw tackle just hit. Also, why did he raw tackle? He could have got super punished for that. Asking for trouble, I feel. Universal overhead. That's dual purpose. Because one, it's an overhead that's hard to react to, and two, it goes over and punishes Chun-Li's low forward. It's a fairly good idea at that stage in the match. Universal overhead is a really hard tool to explain how to use, because on the surface it's very, very useless, but it does a lot of really, really, really cool niche things. Giving everyone an overhead was a cool idea, but everyone except 12 has an overhead anyway. And most of the character-specific overheads are better than the universal one. Cool. He burned 2 bars to do that. See how EX Bird, which is invincible, just got clean beat? Must suck being Chun-Li. That was another tackle. It's cool that he went for that. Anti-air tackle combos into another one. Ooh, there's a couple tackles here. Yep, yep, yep. EX gives you lots of charging time, so the follow-up is really consistent. It's very easy to get EX tackle into 2 tackles. Third Strike has a really interesting overhead dichotomy between the overheads that are really safe and really reactable and the overheads that are really unsafe and really unreactable. Most characters have both, which is kind of cool. Universal overhead is very hard to react to if it hits in its early frames. But it has usually no follow-ups and usually very low damage. And in order to give it follow-ups, you need to have it hit in its late frames, which also makes it more reactable. So it's kind of both at once. SF5 made overheads literally unsafe specifically because of online lag and no other reason. And input lag, I should say. Lag in general. It's because people were complaining a lot about getting hit by overheads when they block correctly. So like this fucking Season 2 patch or whatever is the one that made every single overhead -6 on block, which made them very difficult to use. SF5 actually does do some really cool things with overheads here and there. A lot of overheads you can actually combo out of if they're meaty or if they're counter hit, or both for some of them. So like most overheads actually have like a very specific way to allow you to combo out of them. And you can easily make like meaty setups that allow you to get those kind of hits. They did remove a lot of the input lag, but they still haven't done anything about... That's like SF5 in general. It's like some of the initial issues have been addressed, but some of the things that are still there because the initial issues are still there. They could go and make overheads better now, and I think they would probably be a really good idea if overheads were like -2 on block, and maybe also -2 on hit. Just have them be a -2 in general. Kage's is a really obvious one where you can make it meaty and he doesn't need the counter hit. It's also kind of hard to react to, so, you know, all in all pretty good. But like even like Abigail can link out of his, for example. Sakura technically has a link out of her overhead, but it needs to be the second frame and not the first, and I think it also needs to be a counter hit. But technically speaking, I know a setup for that. I would never do it in a match, but I know it. People generally don't do first frame wake up stuff if they're good. That was a pretty good punish. He probably had a jump in punish. Oh, his mirror fucked up his own combo. That was good though. He barely got the meter too. Yurian gets a lot of meter out of this little juggle. Yurian versus Chun-Li is a pretty fun match to watch actually, considering it's got Chun-Li in it. Oh, a lot of damage on this. How many? Fierce? Oh, it already fell out. Everything in there is JP1. Each hit of tackle is 1. The fireball is 1. So you get to 6. This guy is nowhere near the caliber that RX is, even just watching him. He's just doing the regular basic Urian stuff. Not that anything Urian has is that basic. But like this kind of setup is actually not very difficult at all. It looks really flashy, but it's not hard. That's also not hard. The tackle might have been hard, I don't know. I don't think that required any kind of partitioning. It's mostly about knowing how you can convert. Executionally speaking, I don't think there was anything crazy about what he just did. It was more just knowledge. I would probably tentatively agree with that. I don't know, it's hard to say. They did a good job keeping like what he was about. But there are a lot of characters where they're actually, I think, more interesting than they used to be in previous games. I think Ibuki really hit her stride in SF5. I think Ibuki has been kind of cool in every game she's been in. Cross Tekken, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4. But SF5 is the one that kind of actualized her. Lightning legs? No? Why not? Oh, because he's looking for a tackle that fucking, yeah, Chun-Li, SF5 Chun-Li is probably my favorite version of Chun-Li. Maybe 4. 4, she has a lot more, like, very specific stuff, which is cool. But 5 has all of her classically good parts to be good, but not broken. You've got her kind of like patient zoning. You've got her like specific normals and cool juggles and her ability to win in neutral. Her low forward. Command normal abuse. Low combo ability. You've got our lightning leg stuff. And fancy charge buffering stuff. Lameness with Kikokins. No super? Ooh, that was nice. Caught a forward dash with that back fierce. Buffering super in every single back fierce. I muted Mike for a yawn. Be grateful that you guys aren't all yawning right now. Got that same setup again. Another unblockable at the end. I think Ibuki's the most interesting she's ever been, is the thing. I think she's not super interesting in SF3. I think she's not super interesting in SF4. I think how interesting a character is the most important thing. And then, like, things like tier come later. Daigo hates 3S, that doesn't surprise me. It's like the antithesis of everything he likes to do in fighting games. She does have nice versatility, doesn't she? She's got a lot of different amounts of meter to spend too. She does have 2-bar combos, and she also has, like, whether you want to spend a lot or a little kunai. And also, if you're spending all your kunai, how many kunai you're spending, how many is all, will change your combos just a little bit. Or even your neutral just a little bit. The angles of Ikinage release will be different. Oh, he hits a super right as he landed. He might have hit the mirror too, so what he did with not supering was safer, I guess. Cool. And you can do stuff like EX kunai into super jump, I mean, half circle forward kick, core circle forward kick, hard kick. The jumping command dash. Oh, bad confirm. I love Urian's block noise. He's got a unique block sound because he's made of metal. Anyway, you can do that into jump fierce first hit only. Jump fierce only. And then EX right up from there. That's quite good for 2 bars. You've also got the EX uppercut, EX kunai stuff. Oh, good parry, good punish, and yet no superior. Was that a deliberate whiff? It could have been. Whiff towards roundhouse on purpose, and then use it to buffer our lightning legs. That requires a partition, but it's a DC 1. See how he used the single parry to get out of the way? Yeah. It's funny because Oki is really strong in SF3. Oh, you dumb fuck. Ran into the mirror. I particularly like the third strike Oki game because it can go either direction. Oki isn't flat good for one player. Oki is like, if the opponent makes an aggressive enough read and they're right, then they can get rewarded for it. And because of that, even though Oki is usually good to go for, even mathematically, it's still good to take your Oki whenever you get it. But if you're up a lot and you don't want to enter into that mix-up, you don't have to. I think that's a really cool thing about third strike.